To the editor, as tragic as the recent killings of black males by police officers have been, I think that what takes my breath away is the constant bombardment of information highlighting the so-called weaknesses of black people in general and the black male in particular. In other words, an individual black male can be killed just once, while the quote-unquote image of the black male is being murdered on a daily basis. What's more disheartening is that the black community all over the United States has become unwitting partners in this ongoing effort that destroys the image of the black male in America. This constant barrage of bad news based on the perceived weaknesses of black people, which is disseminated under the guise of so-called evidence-based strategies and best practices, I believe is a direct contributor to the disproportionate arrests, high unemployment rates, housing discrimination, and even the deaths of black males across the country. For example, some of the research data says black males have a high school dropout rate of 50%. Over half of black males will be arrested by age 23. And the 2002 report from the Justice Policy Institute entitled Cell Blocks or Classrooms, wherein they concluded that there were more black males locked up than there were in colleges. This so-called research has been proven to be wrong. However, when the average citizen, including black folks, come into contact with this research data based on the perceived weaknesses of black people, they tend to believe it without verifying it, especially if it is reported by white folks who are perceived to be in positions of authority. The JPI based their evidence on the data collected by the National Center for Education Statistics, NCES, which had conducted a head count of how many African American males were attending colleges and universities at that time, as well as incarceration data collected from the Department of Justice. According to the JPI, in the year 2000, there were 791,600 African American men incarcerated in local, state, and federal lockups. And in that same year, there were 603,032 African American males attending colleges and universities. This meant, according to the JPI, that there were 188,500 more African American males incarcerated than there were in institutions of higher learning. Upon closer scrutiny of the numbers, it was discovered that the NCES did not receive a head count of black male attendance from over 1,000 colleges, including historically black colleges and universities known as HBCUs. Compounding the flawed data gathering on the part of the NCES, they also neglected to call black male enrollment for the entire year. They only counted black males who had enrolled in the fall semester of that year. In fact, according to the Department of Education, during the 2010-2011 academic year, there were 1,444,979 black males in colleges and universities, and the Bureau of Justice Statistics reported in 2010 that there were 824,340 black males incarcerated. Obviously, there are too many African American males in prison, but the majority of these lockups were due to the drug war's mandatory minimum sentencing laws, which disproportionately affect black males, as well as the disparities between powder cocaine versus crack cocaine sentencing guidelines. Nevertheless, as of 2010, there were over 600,000 more black males in colleges and universities than there were in prisons. Regrettably, not many are aware of this fact, and even less celebrate this great news. Incredibly, agencies, school districts, the criminal justice system, and others who are in the Save the Black People business make it mandatory for their employees and the black client to endure hours of presentations based on the perceived weaknesses of the black male. However, the major problem with this strategy, as I see it, is that it increases the negative baggage that the black male must carry while attempting to integrate or reintegrate into his community. To be clear, we black folks do have issues, which is true for every other ethnic group. However, you would be hard-pressed to find another ethnic group who is comfortable with the idea of highlighting the negative behaviors of its members for the express purpose of obtaining state, local, and federal funding for the groups who seek to solve the problem known as the black male. That said, let me say to you, good white folks who are reading this letter, please excuse me if I skirt the boundaries of offense, but I must make the following observation. I think that there is an argument to be made that since the days of slavery, African Americans have been relegated to the position of a social problem which white folks feel that they are obligated to solve. That is not to say that we do not have sincere white folks who genuinely seek to help the black community as they are passing on to us their research data based on perceived black weaknesses. I just want us black folks to understand that people can be sincere in their attempts to rescue the black community, and those same people can be sincerely wrong. My name is Abdul-Ra&apos Mustafa. Thank you.